with Abnormality. Welcome to a very special edition live footage investigation of Fort Stevens and Battery Russell here in Astoria, Oregon. We were up here for the Ghost Conference and decided why not? Let's go splurge on an episode, and so here we are. The following footage you're going to see is going to be with myself and William Becker. Please enjoy the show.
Hi everybody, welcome back. We are now at Battery Russell in Fort Stevens. This is what I always call the guard's house. It's a very interesting place. The fort goes back to 1904. Or goes back. And the installations along the Columbia River, which is just back now, were part of the Union military's defenses in the Civil War. So the original function of this establishment was to keep the South from attacking through the Columbia River. This is the only military site on the continent of the United States that was shelled in World War II. A Japanese stuff was offered us, and it lost shells, only one or two. They didn't hit the fort. The fort didn't return, the battery didn't return fire, because the guns in the battery were so outdated, they couldn't reach the submarine. But the fire guns, which can develop the submarine, is really closer to advanced application than that. We're going to explore a lot of different areas. I talk about this in a lot of coming in here is a little bit more than the PG-rated version of the book. There's men alone in 1904, sometimes probably very well, let's just say. And sometimes some of the action that took place in here. And also after the fort was disbanded. I mean, this 19 doors in this bunker or equipping, and I'm not sure about the rest of the fort. But there were people that would sneak in here, both opposite sex and same sex, and during the military time, there were people that used this place voluntarily and involuntarily for long years. And go ahead and see that. Yeah, there was, I picked up on things, something like type of debts and a few things like that in here. This is amazing. There's so many things happening here. And of course, this is close to Astoria, so it's yeah. Okay, there's a teenage soldier who's scared, skinny kid. It's a young girl here. Well, early, teens, but very early. Wanting to kind of make it out, I think. Looks like the fireplace is right here. We also have ammo rooms and such. But you can see how the wet sea air is affecting everything. It adds a lot of color, which makes it actually pretty stunning. But even with this, I can see people doing things. They're passing things. They're leaning over a table.
Yeah.
The history is implanted, and that's a very residual thing. It's not active as we think of. Now, I think it was this staircase that I saw a lady come down, but I'm not sure.
Holy cow.
Yeah, see, there's another little tiny room, interesting shape. That says, that might actually, it looks almost like boiler room, but I'm not quite sure. Something, can you make that out? Oh, and the floor, there is on the floor. Hi, whoever is in here. You mind if I come in? Just to check these out? Thank you. Yeah, I'm not sure what these are. I have probably met a couple thousand Americans. I haven't come across anything period. I haven't come across anything that count as our Western or our U.S. idea of a demon. Yeah, lady with a nice gown coming down, which is really bizarre.
I'm guessing this is where one of the guns were because the shell room was right here.
Guns, yeah, guns were up above. I'll show you.
Yeah,
the
right.
shells would come out and.
Because there's a shell room right there.
And see these traces?
Yeah.
They have the tracks. The shells were big and heavy.
Yeah.
So they would come out on those. Those were transportation units. And you did. I think this, things like this you see, I believe are part of the call tubes that would go up to the gun placements and also maybe to the observation post. It's all on a level we'll get to. Be very careful. Not only do we have indents and things like this, but we have broken glass. People are always very respectful. Part of my education, my bachelor's degrees in history, and I couldn't call myself a historian, maybe I should, but not taking care of places makes me very angry. There's another one of those things to do kind of things. In the book, we had something that was showing up in an hour like that when it was on fire. This place is great. That looks like a big clam or mussel, doesn't the two pieces coming out. I don't think I've ever noticed one of these before. I have no idea what it is. Okay. Now, I see things that feel here. It seems like a table with people eating maybe over where you're standing here.
Yeah, I'm getting a really bad, like, it's draining me physically. Wherever I'm standing right now is just like, I'm like,
Yeah.
horribly weak all of a sudden. There's something right over here in this area. I'm not sure what it is. I keep seeing, it keeps popping his head out at me though.
Okay. Are you seeing him physically?
Yeah, like from right here. That's why I all of a sudden just kept standing right here looking, because from right here it's like he's standing right along that edge of that cylinder, just kind of
Popping out.
checking it out, you know.
Huh.
What I'm getting here is not a sense of animosity or anything.
No, seriously.
Yeah, it's checking it out.
About this tall?
Yeah, actually right about here to me.
Yeah.
Just kind of looking.
Yeah. I really encourage people to come and visit this statue. They also, in my book, have a lot more information on these devices and some incredible photographs that Devin on my books. So you can order through my website, paranormalinsights.net. My email address is also there if you want to shoot me an email with any questions or anything like that. I want to thank Kent and Christina so much for all of their help and for helping to.
Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the episode. We've been here for about the last hour, hour and a half. Hopefully you got some good evidence, good footage.
Always, I'm your host, Big Tony. Kent's not with me tonight. He's out on special assignment, but hopefully we'll get him in here in the studio in a little bit. So tonight we've got a telephone interview with another one of our groups out of Reno, Nevada, a group by the name of Sinister. And on the phone with me, I've got Jason. Are you with me, Jason?
Yeah, I'm here.
Jason, why don't you give us the full name of your group?
We go by Sinister Sightings Paranormal Society.
Excellent. How long have you guys been together down there?
Since end of last year, actually.
Oh, okay. So not too long.
No.
A little bit. Okay. So we're just going to go through a few questions here, and the mic will be yours, and you can share with us as much information as you want.
Okay.
So how did you guys get into this industry?
I think most of it came down to all of us having our own experiences in our past, and finally just a bunch of like-minded people finally came together and said, we're going to do this thing.
Okay. And how many are in the group?
Right now we're standing about a dozen.
A dozen.
Yeah, but there's a core of 6 of us.
Okay, so 6 are kind of like the founders.
Yeah.
And then you've had 6 join up over the last year or so.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. So have you ever encountered something paranormal that you would consider dangerous on any of your hunts?
We've had some scratching happen.
Scratching? Okay.
Oh, yeah. And in my past, before I was with the team, I've done a lot of individual investigating.
Okay.
And I've seen steak knives standing on end, and, it's...
Oh, wow.
And anything that can do that, I'd consider dangerous.
Yeah, if they're throwing knives at you. Okay. So when you say that you were on your own, were you actually investigating, or was it just kind of a curiosity thing that you were doing?
It started out as a curiosity, then I began actually investigating. People would know that I was into it, and they'd ask me, hey, can you come check this out?
Okay.
So,
and a lot of the group up here, with our group here in Salem, a lot of us feel like when you first start getting those experiences and you kind of open yourself up, it just kind of opens the floodgates. Do you feel that was kind of true for you?
absolutely, yeah. I mean, the first experience is what gets your attention, and it gets to a point you start feeling like you have to seek it out for the rest of your life. You have to experience it again.
Yeah, definitely. It's a tough thing to shut off once you're at that point where you just kind of let things go.
Yes,
Right.
it is. It's not something you can forget.
Okay. So in your experience, what do you think is the main reason why a person would be haunted by a ghost or would have that experience?
Probably, I'm going to say, out of physical or mental weakness, they can be vulnerable in some way.
Okay.
And, an entity, they're not just locked into one location. If they feel somebody is easily attachable, I think they will.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Well,
you got a loved one that passed away and they can't let go of that person. I mean, there's 100 reasons why.
and that was what I was going to say. We've dealt a lot with people and dealing with loss.
Yes.
Kind of that desire to want to be able to reconnect with people that they've lost.
Exactly, yes.
Which for me was, my first experiences was dealing with loss. So that one hits home for me. It makes perfect sense.
Right.
So of all the hunts that you guys have done here in these last few months, what do you think is your most memorable story that you could share with with our viewers?
In January, actually, we were at the old Washoe Club in Virginia City. It's a real famous location.
It's awesome. I know we're trying to come down and do it. It's a
It's
fun
a
place.
great place.
Okay.
But yeah, three of us, we were in the second floor in the poker room, checking the camera, checking the trigger object we had set up.
Uh-huh.
And as we're leaving, 2 of us watched a black shadow run right between us.
Wow.
And our first instinct was go after it.
Yeah.
And instead, that fight or flight sense takes over. But our instinct was go after it. We ended up chasing it down the hallway before we lost it.
Wow. So is this stuff that you had on camera?
It was actually just out of camera.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, and I've heard some great stories about the Washoe Club being a great place to be able to spend some time.
It is. I mean, they give you the keys to lock up, and you're in there for however long you can stand it.
I've heard that there is never a dull moment when you're there.
No.
Okay.
Not.
So you think that that's probably your most memorable experience as far as being out on a hunt?
Yeah,
The shadow?
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
What advice, because this field has grown so much as of late, 15, 20 years ago, when you said you were a ghost hunter, kind of people looked at you funny.
Yeah.
And I know that,
I mean, you couldn't really be public about it because everybody treated you like you were weird. Now it's so mainstream that it's a whole nother world now.
and everybody wants to be a ghost hunter. So I mean, for a lot of those people that are just starting out, kind of, getting into doing what we're doing, what advice would you give that person that was wanting to be, kind of start up their own ghost hunting crew, so to speak?
Well, first I'd say make sure you're doing it for the right reasons, not just the thrill of it.
Yeah.
And if you do, if they can find a team that's been around for a while in their area they can give them some advice,
Mm-hmm.
I totally encourage it because I mean it's not just going out with the camera and trying to capture a ghost and that's it. I mean there's so much work that goes into it behind the scenes.
Yeah.
That you need to be absolutely dedicated. You need to get some help from veteran investigators that know what has to be done.
Yeah, and that's one thing that we always constantly strive for is that pair unity, working together with other people and learning, because I think it makes us stronger.
Oh,
as a whole.
absolutely. I just wish we could see more of it,
Yeah, definitely. It's those low budgets that keep us in town and make it hard for those long hunts.
Right.
Exactly. What do you think, as far as Sinister as a crew, what is the one thing that you think makes you guys the most successful at what you do?
Well, first of all, it'd be the unrelenting dedication of the team. Everybody's in it all or nothing.
Yeah.
And everybody pulls their weight. Everybody gets it done. And other than that, dealing with clients, it's all about honesty and respect. And that really carries you pretty far because the word gets out there.
Yeah. Do you find sometimes, because I hear a lot of people that we interview and that we've met doing this show that talk a lot about, we like to keep just a couple of people in the crew. Do you find that that's sometimes a struggle, the more people you have involved?
Yeah, I do because, you got a lot of people trying to come to you saying, hey, I want to be part of this and be part of that.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, they can't dedicate themselves to doing it. And to make the team survive, you have to have that dedication and that passion for everybody to be there when it's game time.
Yeah, no, and I can vouch for that one. I know ghost hunting alone takes a lot of time, but then when you put a TV show on top of it, it's amazing how much time and energy goes into doing what we do.
Exactly, and that's something we've been talking of, starting to do more documentary style investigations to add more of a human element to our investigations.
Definitely, that's awesome. Okay, so we've kind of touched on it a little bit, but how do you deal with objections and skeptics? Because I know that you've always got that person out there that we put things out on YouTube, we put things out on the Facebook page, and you've always got those people that are like, yeah, whatever, that you guys are crazy. So how do you guys, as a group, how do you deal with some of that stuff?
Really, you kind of just got to, let it roll off your shoulder. That everybody's going to believe what they want to believe. And, statistics these days, it's 50-50 when it comes down to believers and non-believers. And when it comes to that 50% that doesn't believe, you just got to say, okay, I respect your opinion. Mm-hmm. Here's what we put out there. And sometimes they'll criticize it, and we'll go back and look at our evidence to say, hey, maybe they were right. Maybe we looked at it from the wrong perspective.
Yeah. And personally, it's my feeling that everybody has experiences. It's just we're so coached and taught that things are so different that we just don't pay attention to it. I believe everybody has an experience. Whether or not they're willing to open up and to listen and be open-minded about it is what the difference is.
Completely agree with you.
Yeah. And there's skeptics everywhere. I mean, we get hits and emails and you guys are crazy. But yeah, I think just what you said, just be true to what you do, be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's been times we've actually taken skeptics on investigations with us. Mm-hmm. And they've even had those, okay, what the heck just happened moments,
They were probably the first ones screaming and running down the hall.
They got a little nervous, yeah.
Yeah. I love watching people, that first experience that they have.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, their first experience that they're actually admitting that, something's a little bit different and that they've kind of paid attention to. Okay. So what is your vision for this industry in the future? It's changing a lot. TV, it's becoming more prevalent. People are becoming... it's all over the internet. You go to YouTube. So how do you see it kind of changing as the future unfolds?
Well, I'd like to see the thrill seekers and the hobbyists remaining the hobbyists. I mean, I don't want to offend anybody, but
sure.
there's people going out there saying, they believe in ghosts, they want to go on a ghost hunt, and they're going out there and they're disrespecting property, trespassing, vandalism, and it makes a poor image on the rest of us who are actually in it for the right reason.
Yeah, and I know that we struggle with that daily. We've had a whole show talking about, respecting private property and leaving things better than what we found them. And
exactly.
It makes it tough. Even though we have a TV show here in Salem, which is, by no means is it national, but, we go out and say we want to film for the TV show, and they're like, oh, well, we had guys out here kicking over tombstones, and it makes it extremely difficult.
It does, and try to help the image on our end. I mean, places we go, we volunteer labor because a lot of these places they're trying to renovate and bring it back to its glory, but they're working off of donations. So if we can volunteer our time and labor to come in here and help these people, help them do some fundraisers, and keeping it completely out of the whole paranormal perspective, just helping. So I think is going a long way.
That's a great idea. So you guys actually volunteer time to work at wherever it is you'd like to investigate.
Yeah, we actually got a 3-day investigation in June in the town of Eureka where we're doing 2 sites in 3 days.
Wow.
But while we're there, we volunteered to help the city clean up their cemetery because it's just overgrown, and we said, hey, we'll be glad to come in and help you guys out.
That's awesome. Developing that relationship is so important, especially in what we do.
Exactly. And because there's so many people that's giving us a bad image, we have to try to do our best to get that image back.
Yeah, definitely. And in my opinion, even some of the shows that are national, it's become so stylized that it even hurts a little bit as far as.
It is. I mean, it seems like they're scripted. They're in it for the ratings and the drama instead of showing what's actually going on.
Yeah. Well, and that's been one of our skeptics is, kind of our critics is, well, you guys aren't scripted. You guys don't do it like, well, if you want to, see the stylized version of it, this is just honest. We don't write a script. We just kind of shoot from the hip and share experiences.
Exactly. Because, if they had real honest, paranormal investigations being shown on TV, it's not like you see on TV. It's hours and hours and hours of boredom sitting in a pitch black room with nothing going on.
Yeah. And I know even, from the show, we might film 6 to 8 hours for a half-hour show.
Exactly.
It is labor intensive. It's definitely a labor of love. You got to really enjoy what you're doing.
You're going through your evidence pieces together, and you got God knows how many hours of video and audio and photos you got to go through, and in the end, you got 50, 60 hours of evidence, and you're lucky to pull 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. And I know that one of our frustrations that we've been dealing with lately is we've been filming on location, and something will happen to the camera, and we're losing half of our footage.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Battery's going dead, and it has been a struggle.
Right.
So what are your goals for Sinister in this? So if I said that, a year from now, what are your goals as a group?
To keep doing what we're doing. We're not going out there for notoriety. We're just trying to go out there to help people understand, and sometimes they ask us to come in to their business so they can carry their business over the ghost tours.
Okay.
We're just, however people want to approach their hauntings, we just want to continue helping and do what we do.
So do you do a lot of residential type things?
Not many. Most of it's businesses.
Businesses? Okay.
Yeah.
Is that something that you guys, when you put out there, do you advertise that that's kind of what you're interested in, residential, or do you find that your specialty is business?
We put it out there that we do residential, but there's a lot of people from my perspective, it's like they're afraid to call because maybe they're going to think we think they're crazy.
Yeah.
You
get these big guys and dressed in black and tattoos and
right,
hanging out. What are the neighbors going to say?
Yeah, coming in at 12 o'clock at night in tactical vests filled with all kinds of gear to spend the night in your home. I think a lot of people are just very hesitant about it.
And I don't blend in well. Big Tony, I'm 7 foot, so when I walk in the house, everybody knows.
Yeah, you stand out in the crowd. I know that.
A little bit. So are you guys wanting to grow as a group and maybe do a little bit of traveling? Have you done much outside of Nevada, California area?
No, we haven't, but we're starting to look at some locations in Idaho and Utah. But in the end game, we would love to be traveling the country, even travel to other countries. There's amazing locations out there.
Yeah, I think.
So, but right now we're just making our footprint here, and building up our respect and our legitimacy.
Yeah, it makes it a little tough. We all have jobs and kids, and we kind
Right.
of do this for fun. It makes it tough. I know
That's exactly it.
WashU Club is a huge goal for us that we'd like to come down. So if we're at WashU Club, you guys aren't too far away, right?
No, we're about a half hour from there.
So we could connect if we were able to put something together this summer.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
All right. Well, is there anything else you want to share with the listeners?
No,
as
I
we
just
close?
appreciate you guys having us on.
Hey, you bet. Anything we can do to help, that's, like I said, that's our goal is connecting with other groups. We've connected with groups from Vancouver, Canada,
Right.
Reno, Louisiana. We're kind of all over the place. So that's kind of our goal, is to touch base with all you guys and keep us together as a group, because if we get to that point where we travel, then we've got people we can connect with, and I think that's what makes it stronger.
We've done the same thing. I think we're friends with like 300 teams across the world that we try to stay up to date with and keep in contact with. So.
Wow, that's amazing. All right, well, Jason, I appreciate your time calling in. You have a great evening.
Hey, you too. Thanks, Tony.
All right, we'll talk to you soon, Jason. Take care.
All right, bye.
All right, guys, so that's Sinister out of Reno, Nevada. Has some interesting facts to share. As always, Big Tony, thank you for tuning in to Abnormality. I'll see you next time.